Friggin' diffraction. F words. That I'm not going to say.
So let's not try the F words.
I'm not going to do the F words. Okay, let's do this one.
Whoa! Welcome to Cultural Disruption.
I can't help it.
It's getting pretty intense in here apparently today.
Yeah, it is getting intense, like camping. Analogies at their finest.
My goodness, you're so good at those.
Mm-hmm. I've got a couple for you today.
Oh, I'm excited to hear them.
So we're going to talk about Next Jump, this amazing company started by Charlie Kim. 1994 is when they were established. They've grown huge. I mean, they've got, there's Boston, New York, London. They have offices all over the world.
International.
They're this amazing tech company. They're international. They're an amazing tech company. Lots of growth. They actually have a really interesting company policy. And as the great Samuel L. Jackson once said, "Hold on to your butts, because here it comes."
Did he say here? I thought it was just hold on to your butts.
No, it's just hold on to your butts. Anywho, Samuel L. Jackson said, "Hold on to your butts," but we digress. This company has a policy that they never fire anybody. You can't do it.
Oh.
Company policy is don't fire.
Lifetime employment.
Lifetime employment. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, WTH. I changed it.
Oh.
What the heck?
Thanks, because you got the Chuck
Because
Chuck which made me nervous.
Editing at its most.
That's good.
At its finest.
So this is a really cool concept, really different, very disruptive.
It's weird, right? Because everybody'd be like, "No, that's not. We can't do. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way."
But I think there's a lot of validity to this. If you look at an athlete, athletes have their peaks, have their lows, and some of the time they have the middle ground. And if an athlete is struggling, then you give them a break for a little bit. You don't always fire them. Yeah. And what do? You take them on the side and you coach them, which is our favorite term for leadership.
Yeah,
is coaching. And you're forced to do that with your employees if you have a lifetime employment policy.
For those of you who aren't sporty, think of Robert Downey Jr., right? Great stuff for a long time, and then there was this slum of drug use and all sorts, probably lots of F words in his life.
Probably.
And then look at him, Tony Stark. Kind of same concept.
Yeah, right? You didn't get fired, you got coached. Yep. Same thing you do with your employees. Yep. So, recruiting, right? I think that this begins with recruiting. Because if you know you can't fire someone, you're going to be extremely selective about who you decide to bring on board as part of your team and part of the company. Mm-hmm. So what would you do as a hiring manager if I came to you and said, "Hey, you can never fire anyone. Good luck on your next hire"? What would be going through your mind?
I would be like, "Holy crap, I got to get this one right."
Yeah.
Right? It's like my in-laws are coming over for dinner. This better not be messed up. I'm still trying to impress them 11 years later. They're such great people. And I think I'm okay, but, it's still one of those things where my desire is to make sure that I look good.
You do look good.
Thank you.
Especially
they're great
right
people.
now.
And I think they're very, very kind. And so I think I'm okay, but you never know.
Yeah,
Thank you for hitting on me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, happy to do
it. But here's kind of the problem with this concept, right? Not necessarily a problem, but you have to keep thinking, okay, so I've got to hire someone and they have to be phenomenal, right? They have to be the right hire because I can't just say, they didn't work out, I'm going to let them go, because that's part of, against company policy. But at the same time, you still have to have that consistent revenue and growth as a company, right? And the way that I look at this is like this. And here comes the analogy train. It's like liposuction. Have I considered it? You betcha, right? Because it's easy. But the problem with liposuction is that it's a quick fix. It doesn't actually...
I'm just thinking.
Sorry, I just thought you belched.
No, I didn't.
You're here for live, folks. Okay. Anyway, but the thing that comes to my mind is that consistent growth, right? It has to be permanent change, and it has to be this concept of, look, we have to hire the right people to continue that growth, to continue that revenue. Liposuction is just a Band-Aid. It doesn't solve the problem permanently. Totally. Firing someone does not always solve that problem permanently, because you're going to have to hire someone else, which means you have to go through that training, you have to go through that coaching, all of that stuff. Whereas if I were to actually create positive habits in my life by eating proper foods and exercising, that creates permanent change, or at least hopefully that's permanent change and that consistent growth. Right?
You are absolutely the king of analogies.
That's what I do.
But even if you had to do layoffs,
yeah.
You don't do layoffs. Holy cow. That means if you have to have that consistent growth, you've got to figure out how to hit those revenue goals with the people you have, which I think really makes performance management go to a brand new level, right? Your only option in a down economy, if you have a workforce staffed at some level, is to focus on performance, to focus on training, continuing education, and all of those things that will make the team enhance and become better and rise to that occasion. So I had an employee once that worked for me, and she had worked at the company for a very long time, and she probably shouldn't have been there, right? And I don't know what she did all the time, and we performance manager, and she ended up leaving. It would have been radical if there was no option to actually let her go, because she shouldn't have been employed. Like, the issue started with recruiting, continued with performance management in that individual, which says you really have to make sure that you're doing a phenomenal job in recruiting, training, and development.
Yeah. When your kids are naughty, you don't get rid of them just because they're giving you a hard time, right? So you have to make sure that you're doing those things properly. And again, like you said, it starts from recruiting. So as a company, you have to look not just right now, not just the right here and right now. You have to look ahead of time.
Yeah.
When I hire this person, what does that future look like? Is this someone? And obviously, you know, it's not just coaching that person. It's also coaching you as a person, coaching the company overall on those company policies and the way of being the culture, right? Mm-hmm. It's a big part of that. You know, it is hard and it's going to take work. It's going to be one of those things where, it's going to be blood, sweat, and tears. But at the end of the day, if we do it properly, if we can coach people and know that the option is not to just get rid of them and start over new, I think we're going to be more considerate in our decisions, and we're going to make sure that we're actually doing, you know, our work and our legwork, if you will.
I like what you said about, like, you don't get to pick your kids, you don't lose your kids, or like get rid of them if they're not working.
Next
child. Like, it's very true. Like, do we treat our employees that way also? And maybe something we should explore in more detail in a future vlog. But if you can't fire anybody, you still have to find a way to make it work.
Yeah. Exercise and diet, not liposuction.
Don't forget to subscribe.